I don't need fame, I used to say. I just need peace. Aisha laughed the first time I said that. You're strange, she replied. Everyone wants to be seen. I met her in a small classroom with broken fans and cracked desks. She sat 2 rows ahead of me, biting her pen, eyes full of fear and fire at the same time. After class, she turned around and asked, "Do you understand what the professor just said?" "I think so," I answered. "Can you explain it to me?" That was the beginning. We started talking every day after that. She talked about dreams. Big ones. "I want to run my own company," she said once, voice shaking. "I don't want to depend on anyone." I smiled and said, "You won't." She looked at me like I had just promised her the world. When she couldn't afford her tuition, she cried on the phone. "I'll quit," she said. "I'm not made for this." "Don't," I replied. "I'll handle it." "You don't have to," she whispered. "I want to," I said, and I meant it. At night, I edited her proposals while she slept beside me. "Fix this sentence," she'd say, handing me her laptop. "This slide needs clarity," I'd reply. "You're better at this than me," she joked. "No," I said. "I just believe in you." There were nights she broke down completely. "What if I fail?" she sobbed. "Then we'll fail together," I told her. She held my hand and said, "Promise you won't leave." "I won't," I said without thinking. When she got her first internship offer, she screamed, "I did it." "You did," I said, clapping. She kissed my cheek and said, "I couldn't have done it without you." Those words stayed with me longer than they should have. I sold my bike to fund her first startup pitch. "We need just a little more," she said, staring at the budget. "I'll manage," I replied. She frowned. "Are you sure?" "Yes," I said. "This is temporary." Success changed her slowly, like water dripping on stone. At first it was small things. "Can we eat later?" she'd say. "I have a call." "Okay," I replied. Then it became, "I'll be home late." "That's fine," I said. Soon it was, "I don't have time for this conversation." "I understand," I lied. One night I asked, "Do you remember our first classroom?" She looked confused. "Why are you stuck in the past?" "I just—" "Please," she interrupted, checking her phone. "I'm busy." I told myself she was under pressure. "This is just a phase," I whispered to my own reflection. "Once she reaches the top, she'll slow down." She didn't. When she got promoted, she said, "This is only the beginning." "I'm proud of you," I said. She nodded, distracted. "Thanks." I started eating dinner alone. When I spoke, she listened halfway. When I stayed silent, she didn't notice. "You're quiet," she said once. "I'm just tired," I replied. She nodded. "Get some rest." One evening I tried again. "Do you still need me?" She laughed softly. "Why would you ask that?" "I just want to know." "Of course," she said, standing up. "But I need space too." I watched her grow confident, sharp, powerful. And I shrank without realizing it. I stopped sharing my worries. I stopped asking for time. I stopped existing loudly. Love, to me, meant sacrifice. It meant stepping back so she could shine. It meant being proud even when I felt invisible. The warning signs were there. Missed anniversaries. Cold replies. Eyes that no longer searched for me in a room. But I ignored them all. Because every time I doubted, I remembered her voice saying, "I couldn't have done it without you." And I believed love meant disappearing so the person you love can stand tall. The apartment smelled like fresh paint and loneliness. "This is temporary," I told myself out loud. The walls didn't answer. My phone rang. "Have you reviewed the documents?" the lawyer asked. "Yes," I said. "Any objections?" "No." Pause. "You're giving up a lot." "I already lost more," I replied. The signing room was quiet. Aisha sat across from me, perfectly composed. "You don't have to rush," she said. "I'm not," I answered, picking up the pen. Her eyes flickered. "You're not angry?" "No," I said. "Just tired." When I signed, my hand didn't shake. That scared me. "Done," the lawyer said. Aisha whispered, "I hope you find happiness." I looked at her. "I hope you find peace." Back home, I opened the boxes she had sent. Old clothes, books, memories. At the bottom was a cardboard folder. My handwriting stared back at me. "What's this?" I muttered. I flipped through pages filled with strategies, notes, late-night ideas. "You kept these?" I asked her on the phone. "I thought you might want them," she said. "After everything?" "Yes," she replied softly. I hung up without saying goodbye. That night my mother called. "Beta, are you eating?" she asked. I'm fine, I lied. You don't sound fine. I just need time. Friends stopped inviting me out. Messages turned into silence. One text finally came. You'll bounce back. I stared at it and laughed. From what? At work, my manager said, take some leave. I don't need pity, I replied. He sighed. This isn't pity. It's concern. I walked home and past the cafe where Aisha and I once planned her future. You'll run companies, I had said. And you? She asked. I'll stand behind you, I replied. Inside my apartment, I sat on the floor and spoke to no one. You did your best, I said. The words felt empty. Aisha called again. Did you get everything? She asked. Yes. You didn't ask for anything. I didn't want anything, I replied. She hesitated. You could have. I won't, I said. There was a knock on my door. Delivery, a voice said. I opened it and took the box without looking. Inside were my old notebooks. The ones I thought were lost. I opened the first page. Vision. Growth. Risk. My handwriting. My ideas. I laughed then stopped. So I wasn't invisible, I whispered. I picked up the phone and called her. Why did you send these? She said, because you mattered. Mattered? I repeated. Yes, she said. Then why did you leave? Silence. I ended the call and sat there holding the notebooks. For the first time, I asked myself a question I had avoided. What do I want? The answer didn't come quickly, but something shifted. I opened my laptop and searched for freelance work. You still know how to do this, I said. My fingers moved with purpose. As the screen lit up, I realized something I never allowed myself to believe. I wasn't weak. I was just hidden behind someone else's light. That night, I slept on the floor, surrounded by empty rooms and quiet thoughts. But for the first time since the divorce, the silence didn't feel like punishment. It felt like space. The day Aisha became a CEO, I stood in the back of the hall. Sit here, an assistant said, pointing away from the front row. It's fine, I replied. I'll stand. People clapped when her name was announced. Aisha Khan, Chief Executive Officer. She walked onto the stage with confidence I barely recognized. I clapped too harder than most. You did it, I whispered, though she couldn't hear me. After the event, everyone surrounded her. Brilliant speech, one man said. You're an inspiration, a woman added. She smiled, shaking hands. Her eyes passed over me like I was part of the wall. That night, I asked, should we celebrate? She loosened her heels and said, I'm exhausted. We can just eat something simple, I suggested. Not tonight, she replied. I have an early meeting. We sat across from each other in silence. Finally, she said, we need to talk. My chest tightened. About what? About us, she said calmly. I tried to joke. Is this the part where you forget me now that you're famous? She didn't smile. Don't make this harder. What's going on? I asked. She folded her hands. You've been supportive. I appreciate that. Appreciate? I repeated. Yes, she said. But things have changed. Changed how? She hesitated. I've grown. My life is different now. I know, I said. And I'm proud of you. That's not enough, she replied. I leaned forward. What do you need from me? She looked away. I need a partner who matches my level. I've always matched you, I said quietly. She shook her head. Emotionally, maybe. Professionally, no. The words stung. So I'm what? She exhaled. You're holding me back. I laughed once without humor. I paid your fees. I built your pitches. And I'm grateful, she said quickly. But this is different now. Different how? I asked. I need freedom, she replied. And space. The room felt smaller. Are you saying you want a break? She swallowed. I want a divorce. The word hit harder than any slap. A divorce. I repeated. Yes, she said steady. It's the best decision for both of us. For both of us? You deserve someone who fits your pace, she said. And you deserve someone better, I finished. She didn't deny it. Is there someone else? I asked. No, she replied too fast. This isn't about that. Then why does it feel like I've already been replaced? She stood up. You're being emotional. I'm your husband, I said. I'm supposed to be emotional. She sighed. This is exactly what I mean. I looked at her, really looked. The woman who once cried on my shoulder now looked at me like a problem to solve. When did I become a burden? I asked. She softened for a second. You didn't? You just stayed the same. And you changed, I said. Yes, she replied. And I can't apologize for that. The papers arrived a week later. You don't need a lawyer, she said. I'll take care of everything. I'll sign, I replied. You're not even going to fight? She asked. For what? I said. Someone who already left? She paused. I never meant to hurt you. I know, I said. You just stopped needing me. On the day I left the house, she stood by the door. You'll be okay, she said. I picked up my bag. You always said I was strong. She nodded. You are. As I walked out, I realized something painful and clear. I hadn't lost my wife that day. I lost my place in her life long before she said the word divorce. The first reply came at 2:17 a.m. Are you still available for consulting? I stared at the screen and whispered, yes. I typed back, I am. 3 dots appeared. Can you start tomorrow? Yes, I replied again. The next morning, I sat across from Usman in a small office. You look different, he said. Different how? Lighter, he replied. Like someone finally took a weight off you. I opened my laptop. Show me what's broken, I said. He smiled. Straight to work. I missed that. As I spoke, ideas flowed without effort. We cut this cost. We changed the pitch angle. This market isn't ready yet. Usman leaned back. You sound confident. I forgot that I admitted. During a break, he asked, you worked behind the scenes before, right? Yes, I said. Why? I paused. Because I thought love meant support. And now? Now I think love shouldn't erase you. Later that day, Zara walked in. This is the consultant? She asked. Yes, Usman replied. Be nice. She smiled. Too late. I already respect him. We worked until evening. You're sharp, she said. I just listen, I replied. That's rare, she answered. On my way home, my phone buzzed. Have you heard? A former colleague asked. Heard what? Aisha's board is fighting. 2 investors pulled out. I stopped walking. That's unfortunate, I said. There was a pause. You sound calm. I am, I replied, surprised it was true. That night I cooked for myself. Look at you, I muttered. Eating properly. The mirror didn't argue. A message appeared on my screen. Unknown number. Can you talk? I knew the voice before she spoke again. It's Aisha. What do you need? I asked. I just wanted to check on you. I'm fine. Another pause. You sound different. I am, I said honestly. She hesitated. Things are complicated here. I'm sure, I replied. I could use your opinion, she said carefully. I don't work for free anymore, I said. Silence. I didn't mean it like that, she said. I know, I replied. But that's how it sounds now. She changed the topic. Are you seeing someone? No, I said. Oh, she replied, unsure. You don't need updates, I added. You're right, she said softly. After the call, I sat on the bed and exhaled. So this is what boundaries feel like, I said. Days passed. More work came in. You saved us, Usman said one evening. No, I replied. I just did my job. Zara handed me coffee. You ever think about leading your own firm? I laughed. Once upon a time. Think again, she said. You're built for it. That night, another message arrived. Aisha's company delayed salaries, someone wrote. I closed the phone without replying. I opened my notebook instead. Old ideas mixed with new ones. You're still here, I whispered to myself. For years, I let someone else speak for me. I told myself my role was small. I was wrong. The skill she took for granted was never just intelligence. It was patience, clarity, sacrifice. And now, for the first time, those things belonged to me. I shut the notebook and turned off the light. Tomorrow I had work to do, not for her, not for love, not for approval. For myself. The first rumor reached me during lunch. Have you heard about Aisha's company? Usman asked casually. I kept eating. No. He raised an eyebrow. They lost another investor. That happens, I said. Usman watched me closely. You're not curious? I'm not involved, I replied. Later that day, Zara leaned against my desk. You okay? She asked. Yes. You've been very calm lately. I've been very clear, I said. My phone buzzed nonstop that evening. Delayed salaries. Board conflict. Emergency meetings. I muted the notifications. At night, my mother called. Beta, someone said your ex-wife is on the news. I know, I said gently. Are you all right? Yes, I replied. I really am. The next morning my phone rang again. This time I answered. Hello. It's me, Aisha said. Her voice was tight. What's wrong? I asked, already knowing. Everything is falling apart, she said. I stayed quiet. I don't understand how this happened, she continued. Growth without balance breaks things, I said. She inhaled sharply. You always said that. Yes, I replied. I should have listened. That's in the past, I said. There was a long silence. Can you look at something for me? She asked. I don't think that's a good idea. Please, she said. Just advice. I closed my eyes. I can't, I said. Why? Because I won't disappear again. Her voice cracked. I never asked you to disappear. No, I said. I volunteered. She whispered, I made a mistake. I know, I replied. Can you forgive me? I already have, I said. Then why won't you help? Because forgiveness isn't access. She didn't respond. At work, Usman said, You're getting popular. I'm just doing clean work, I replied. That's rare, he smiled. Zara added, People trust you. I trust myself, I said. She nodded. That shows. Another message came in that night. Board removed her decision rights. I put the phone down. Aisha called again. They think I'm incompetent, she said. Power is lonely, I replied. So is losing it, she answered. You once told me you wanted freedom, I said. Yes, she replied bitterly. This is part of it. She laughed weakly. You sound so calm. I had time to learn, I said. I didn't, she whispered. Listen to me, I said. Yes. You're strong. But you stopped listening to people who loved you. I only listened to results, she replied. And results don't stay loyal, I said. She was crying now. I don't know who I am without the title, she admitted. I do, I said quietly. Who? You're human. The call ended without goodbye. Days later, headlines confirmed it. Resignations. Investigations. Market panic. I read them like weather updates. Zara asked, Does this hurt? I thought for a moment. It used to. And now? Now it just explains things. That night, I sat alone with my notebook. I didn't feel victorious. I felt steady. Karma didn't shout. It didn't rush. It whispered, slowly correcting what pride had twisted. And for the first time, I understood something clearly. I didn't need revenge. Life was already answering for me. The knock came late, firm but unsure. I looked at the door and said, I'm not expecting anyone. The knock came again. When I opened it, Aisha stood there. No heels. No confidence. Can we talk? She asked. I stepped aside. You already are. She walked in slowly. You've changed this place, she said. It's mine, I replied. She nodded. I can see that. She sat on the edge of the chair. I didn't know where else to go, she said. You have options, I replied. Not anymore, she whispered. I crossed my arms. What do you want from me? She looked up. I want honesty. You'll get it, I said. Nothing else. Her voice shook. I lost everything. I know. The board forced me out. I read the news. She flinched. So I'm a headline now. You always wanted visibility, I replied. She looked away. Not like this. She took a deep breath. I was wrong. I waited. I thought success would fill the emptiness, she said. And? It made it louder. She looked at me then. You were the backbone. The words landed heavy but late. I know, I replied. Her eyes filled. Why didn't you stop me? I tried, I said. When? Every time you said you were too busy. She pressed her lips together. I didn't hear you. No, I said. You heard results. She stood up suddenly. I didn't mean to hurt you. I believe you, I replied. Then why does this hurt so much? Because intentions don't erase impact. She paced the room. I thought you'd always be there, she said. I was, I replied. Until I wasn't, she said quietly. Until you pushed, I corrected. She stopped. Do you hate me? No, I said. Do you still love me? I paused. I care about who you were. She sat back down. I don't know how to live without you, she admitted. You will, I said. How can you be so sure? Because you lived without me before you noticed. Her voice broke. I miss us. I miss who I was, I replied. She leaned forward. Can we try again? I shook my head. No. Why not? Because I won't disappear twice. She grabbed her bag. I deserve this, don't I? No, I said. Then what is this? This is consequence. She stood at the door. You're stronger than I ever was, she said. I had to be, I replied. She hesitated. If things were different. They are, I said. That's the point. She opened the door. I'm sorry, she said. I know, I replied. When she left, the room felt quiet but steady. I didn't collapse. I didn't chase. I breathed. I sat on the couch and said out loud, you chose yourself. The words didn't scare me anymore. I had loved her by becoming smaller. Now I respected myself by staying whole. That night I slept deeply. Not because the past was fixed, but because it no longer controlled me. I saw her fall on a screen, not in person. Aisha Khan resigns amid investigation, the anchor said. I muted the sound. Zara glanced at me. You okay? Yes, I replied. She searched my face. You're sure? I've already grieved, I said. At lunch, Osman shook his head. She had it all, he said. Nothing is permanent, I replied. Not even power? Especially power. My phone buzzed again. She's being blamed for everything. I locked the screen. That evening my mother called. People talk too much, she said. They always do, I replied. You were quiet when you needed to speak, she added. I'm learning, I said. Aisha didn't call that day. She didn't need to. The next morning I passed the building that once carried her name on glass. The logo was gone. So is the illusion, I whispered. Inside the office, Zara said, they want you on a long-term contract. I'll think about it, I replied. You're allowed to want things, she said. I know, I answered. News kept coming. Assets frozen. Partners distancing themselves. Friends disappearing. Osman leaned back and said, this is brutal. It's honest, I replied. He frowned. You don't sound angry. I don't feel powerful, I said. I feel free. That night Aisha texted. I don't expect a reply. I read it anyway. Everyone left. I typed nothing. Another message came. I finally understand what you gave up. I stared at the words. Understanding without repair meant nothing now. She called after midnight. I'm scared, she said. I know, I replied. I've never been alone like this. You weren't alone, I said. You were just unreachable. She cried softly. I thought success made me untouchable. It made you isolated, I replied. Do you feel satisfied? She asked. No, I said. Then what do you feel? Closure. She laughed weakly. You sound like a stranger. I became one, I said. To survive. She whispered, I wish I could go back. I don't, I replied. Why? Because I wouldn't recognize myself. The call ended quietly. Days later, an article mentioned her name again. Former CEO. Former wife. Former certainty. Zara handed me coffee. You don't celebrate this, she said. There's nothing to celebrate, I replied. Still, she added, you won. I shook my head. I didn't win. I stopped losing. That evening I walked home slowly. No anger. No pride. Just clarity. The queen didn't fall because I pushed. She fell because the throne was built on borrowed strength. And as the noise around her faded, something inside me finally settled. I wasn't part of her story anymore. I was writing my own. She asked to meet me in a quiet cafe. Just once, she said on the phone. I replied, one conversation. She arrived early. No makeup. No phone in hand. You look well, she said when I sat down. So do you, I replied even though it wasn't true. She stirred her coffee without drinking it. I've been thinking, she began. I know, I said. Do you? Yes, I replied. You always think out loud when you're afraid. She smiled sadly. You remember everything. I had time, I said. She took a breath. I destroyed us. You changed us, I corrected. And you let it happen, she said softly. I did, I agreed. That's my fault. She looked up. Can you forgive me completely? I already have, I said. Then why does this feel unfinished? Because forgiveness isn't reunion. She pressed her lips together. I miss how safe I felt with you, she said. I miss how honest I was with myself, I replied. She leaned forward. I can be different now. I believe you, I said. Then why won't you try again? Because different doesn't mean compatible anymore. Her hand shook. I lost myself chasing power. I lost myself protecting you, I replied. She swallowed. Can we rebuild? No, I said gently. We already built something new, separately. She laughed bitterly. So this is it. This is closure, I said. She looked around the cafe. This place feels small, she said. It always was, I replied. We just grew. She stared at me. Do you love someone else? No, I said. Then why am I not enough now? Because enough isn't the same as right. Her eyes filled. You're so calm. I wasn't, I said. I worked for this. She reached across the table. I didn't take her hand. Please, she whispered. I won't disappear again, I replied. She pulled back slowly. I used to think you were afraid of the world, she said. I was afraid of losing you, I answered. And now? Now I'm not afraid of either. She nodded. I wish I saw you sooner. I wish I saw myself sooner, I said. The waiter came. Anything else? No, I replied. She said nothing. Outside she stopped. If I fall again, she said, will you help me up? I hope someone does, I replied. Not you. Not me. She closed her eyes. That hurts. It should, I said softly. It means it matters. She stepped back. Goodbye, she said. Goodbye, I replied. As she walked away, I didn't feel relief. I felt acceptance. Closure wasn't loud. It didn't come with apologies or promises. It came with truth, spoken calmly, and boundaries held firmly. I walked home alone but not empty. For the first time, I didn't wonder what could have been. I knew exactly what was. I wake up before the alarm now. Not because I'm anxious, but because my mind is clear. Morning, I say to myself. The word doesn't feel heavy anymore. At work, Usman greets me with a grin. Big day, he says. Every day is, I reply. He laughs. You've changed. I remembered who I was, I tell him. Zara hands me a file. They want you to lead the project, she says. I'll take it, I reply without hesitation. She nods. You don't doubt yourself anymore. I wasted enough years doing that, I say. During lunch my phone buzzes. Aisha's name flashes for a second, then disappears. No message. No missed call. Just silence. I don't chase it. That evening my mother calls. You sound peaceful, she says. I am, I reply. I prayed for this, she whispers. I did too, I admit. I walk home slowly, watching people rush past me. Once I was invisible in crowds like this. Now I don't need to be seen to feel real. At home I open my old notebook. The first page still reads vision. Growth. I smile. You were never hers, I say quietly. You were mine. I remember the boy who sat in the back of a classroom helping a scared girl dream bigger. I thought love meant sacrifice, I tell the empty room. But love should never cost you yourself. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Hello. It's me, Aisha says softly. I don't sit down. I thought we were done, I say. We are, she replies. I just needed to say one thing. Oh wait. You were never weak, she says. I know, I reply. You were strong enough to let me shine, she continues. And strong enough to walk away, I add. She breathes out slowly. I'm trying to rebuild, she says. I hope you do, I reply. I won't call again, she promises. I believe you, I say. She hesitates. I'm sorry it took losing you to see your worth. I'm not, I reply. Why? Because I finally saw it too. The line disconnects. I place the phone down and feel nothing break inside me. That's how I know I'm free. Weeks pass. Work grows. Confidence settles in quietly. One evening Zara asks, do you regret loving her? I think for a moment. No, I say. I regret forgetting myself. She smiles. You're rare. I'm just honest, I reply. At night I stand by the window and look at the city lights. Once I thought success belonged to people on stages. Now I know it belongs to people who sleep without guilt. I speak out loud again, not to convince myself but to confirm it. You didn't lose her, I say. You found yourself. Love didn't fail me. I failed myself by shrinking. And I fixed that. I don't hate her. I don't miss her. I respect the lesson she brought into my life. Some people are chapters. Some are mirrors. She was both. I close the notebook and turn off the light. Tomorrow will come, steady and honest. For the first time, I don't feel like a backbone, a shadow, or a supporting role. I feel complete. I was never too quiet. Never too small. Never not enough. I was always enough.